Hi, Empaths. Welcome back. Sending you lots of love, blessings, light, support, everything that you may need at this time. It's been interesting this week. So many people that I worked with are experiencing phenomenological things in their homes or in their dreams. So, very interesting that some of us are, myself included, having visitations from the ancestors, angels, or other divine beings. So just remember, if something doesn't settle or feel right, break out the sage, your your rock salt, your incense, whatever you do to cleanse and clear your space and keep your space clear and clean. You want to do that always anyway as an empath because we're so energy sensitive, we're absorbing so much energy. But lately, there's just been a lot of swirling energy and there's a lot of spiritual warfare. We are the boots on the ground, and the divine beings that we work with that are part of our structure that embody all the different layers of our structure. They are absolutely supporting. They are doing their job, if you will, in the ethers and the heavenlies, in the unseen realms, and of course, they're supporting us. We are divinely supported, so don't be afraid, regardless to what you may see in your dreams that may be chaotic or disturbing or uncomfortable, and anything that's going on maybe in your homes or your workplace. If it's not aligned, if it doesn't feel like it's in the highest light, transmute that energy, shift that energy, call on, your guardian protectors to surround you, to create a perimeter around your home, your household, your loved ones, of course, yourself, and, ask them to uproot and remove anything that is not aligned, anything that doesn't serve the highest good, anything that's not a part of your soul destiny and your divine purpose here on this planet. If it doesn't, support the cause, kick rocks, get out of here, and be bold about calling in what you want and what you need from your various divine beings, guardians, protectors, angels, ancestors that work with your structure, all the layers of consciousness within your divine soul temple. They serve the highest good. They're aligned with your divine plan and your divine master blueprint. So be bold, ask for what you need, call on tech support if you need, if you need support, you got it. Okay. You don't have to tolerate lower vibration, lower frequency. Nothing should be scary or dysregulating you. You shouldn't be afraid to be in your own home. So keep all of the energy pure, pristine, aligned, blessed, peaceful. Do your ceremonies and rituals, your prayers, your meditations, whatever it is that you want to do to honor God, Creator, Source, and honor nature and honor universe and honor balance. Whatever that looks like for you, do it in the highest light and know that the infinity circle will always be your destiny. Okay, as above, so below, as within, so without. You mirror back to spirit what you see in them with gratitude, and spirit will always match your energy and mirror back to you who you are to them. And when I say them, I'm talking about all beings who exist in the highest realms of pure love and light with God, Creator, the Source, who love you unconditionally, who got your back, and who have only your pure heart intention as their pure heart intention. Okay. So when I say them, I'm talking about angels, ancestors, divine beings, teachers, guides, protectors, guardians who have volunteered or been assigned by the Creator, the source of everything, to honor your life with protection and wisdom and guidance and many, 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 many blessings so that you can get through this life, so that you can do this life in a pristine, excellent, beautiful way. Okay? So be blessed, dear ones, as you are experiencing the waves of intensity, no matter what is flowing in and out of your life, in and out of your consciousness. Keep your vibration high, shine the light brightly, shine the vibe brightly, share love, share light, be in gratitude. These are all tools for transmuting energy very quickly and manifesting while we're going through. So while we're experiencing waves of intensity and shifts are occurring, and there's always going to be shifts occurring because humanity is having a great adventure that we call ascension. It is an incredible roller coaster ride of highs and lows as we move through 3D and 4D, 5D, and even beyond. There's some really magical things happening to our DNA, our structure, our consciousness, the way we think, the way we look, the way we move through the world. Everything's shifting. Even at a cellular level, we are changing, and it can be really beautiful and amazing. And it can also, there's times when we're in the dark night of the soul, and that's sometimes a bit more challenging. There's times to integrate our shadow and our ego in submission to the soul's light, the soul master blueprint that God, creator, source, and our soul developed, planned for us to experience here as humans. So it's an exciting time. It can also be scary if you haven't rooted and anchored yourself in all that you know to be true about who you are, who you work with, what your purpose is, why you're on the planet. And if you don't realize that you're divinely supported, it's definitely much more challenging. But if you remember who you are, that you are divinely supported, and that you will always have every single thing that you need at the drop of a hat, as long as it's aligned with the soul plan, if you know that, life becomes easy and life becomes magical. Now, I don't want to imply that we always get what we want and that it's always sunshine and rainbows, because we know that's not true, right? Empaths, we know that's not true. But what I am saying and what I am suggesting is that if you stay aligned to your team that you work with, and you maintain a pure heart structure, and you keep your channel pure, and you eliminate toxic experiences, behaviors, people from your experience, and you stay in deep, deep, deep connection with the soul plan, with God, creator, your ancestors, your angels, your teachers, your guides. If you stay in flow, if you are in constant flow state with the divine energy that's gifted to you every day, moment by moment, your life will be magical. No matter what waves of intensity are blowing towards you, no matter what chaos is happening in the world, you will feel anchored and rooted, because you will recognize moment by moment and breath by breath that you are on divine mission assignment and you have all that you need. Okay. So when I say you have all that you need, I'm not saying you're necessarily going to be rich or marry, the fine guy down the block. That's between you and your structure, you and your team. I have no say in that. But what I will say is that as long as your channel is pure and you live from the sanctuary of the heart, as long as you abide in the sanctuary of the heart, your life will be golden and you will be supported. So blessings, dear ones, on your journey, every day, always, moment by moment. So I'm in California and it's super cold today, which is kind of weird. It's winter, but it's actually really cold. My home is cold. So I'm like bundled up to try and stay warm. I was given an affirmation for us today. It's super simple. I love these affirmations that the spirit realm gives me. I literally wake up and I will hear one. And, sometimes I'll see it written, like spiritually see, but I heard, I receive, I have all that I need. I receive. I have all that I need. Take a breath, dear ones, if you choose with me, while we're collectively in this circle together, and just take a breath, breathe. And then say, I receive. We're receiving from the spirit realm all that is for us, all that is aligned with our soul master blueprint, all that the heavens and the ethers and our ancestors and our angels and our guardians want us to have, want to gift us with. Every blessing that is divinely aligned, we receive. And I have all that I need. You have all that you need. We have all that we need. I receive. We receive. We have all that we need. Isn't that beautiful? So, dear ones, maybe this week, if you remember this affirmation, this statement, this beautiful declaration, you can say it, throughout the week, whenever it comes to you on behalf of our empath collective. We receive. We're allowing ourselves to receive. I'm allowing myself to receive. And therefore, I have all that I need. We have all that we need. And so it is. Yay. All right, dear ones, we're talking today. I'm talking, you're listening, about contraction, expansion. And so basically, contraction. Contraction is the state of an empath. Well, let me back up for a moment. A lot of us empaths are very introverted. Some of us are extroverted, and many of us are ambiverts, which is a combination. It's a balance of the polarities of being introverted and extroverted. Introverts tend to get their energy from going within. They go into their cave. Highly sensitive people do this all the time. They don't necessarily want to be at big parties or big functions or chaotic events like festivals or carnivals or concerts. Introverts could stay home, be in a book, blanket on, a cat or a dog, and they're good. Extroverted people get their energy from being with others, with, interacting and having social settings, and they tend to like music and louder noise and, dancing. Ambiverts are a combination of both. An extroverted introvert is an ambivert. This is someone who maybe is selective about who they show the extroverted side, with. They don't mind being at an event or a party or a social gathering as long as everybody there is cool and they know everybody and they trust your energy. Okay. And empaths, whether you consider yourself extroverted or introverted, all of us would probably agree that being able to trust somebody's energy is super important to us, right? Because if we feel something's off or we feel somebody's nefarious, distrustful, hating, I'll tell you a funny story. I went to get my nails done today, and I was picking out the nail color, and I could just feel this energy behind me, like somebody was boring like holes in my back or something. And I just turned around, and there was this person seated behind me. And if looks could kill, okay, if looks could kill, she was an older woman, and she was just giving me the most dirty, dirty look. I don't know what I did to offend this woman. I guess my existence. Me just walking in the nail shop, maybe the army that came with me, the angelic host that accompanied me walking in, maybe it offended her. I have no idea. I just turned around and it was very evil. I just was like, oh, okay. Hostile territory. So kind of funny. I don't know why I brought that up. I smiled. I sat. I didn't sit next to her. I ended up sitting a couple of seats next to her, like over, just to protect my energy. And I sat there and I sent love and light, and I called in my guardians to just, whatever that is, shift it out, remove it, because I'm happy and you're not going to steal my joy. So anyway, being able to trust people's energy, going into parties or gatherings, or even family members, like extended family members' homes for holiday gatherings and such. If you don't feel safe there, if you don't feel like you're protected, or if you feel like people are judging you or, don't have your back, that it's really hard for us empaths to play the role and just pretend like everything's good, right? If we're not comfortable, if something's off, if the energy feels shady or shifty, most likely we want to get out of there. But we are up leveling in 2023, dear empaths. This is the year we take our power back. And instead of us running away because there's tension or stress, sometimes we're going to dig roots and anchor and just feel grounded in the light of our own soul. Call in your guardians, call in your protectors, call in your angels. And if you're on assignment, or if you're out in the community, no matter what energy is swirling around you, of course, be aligned. If spirit doesn't want you there, then get the heck out of Dodge. But if you're supposed to be there, or you have a right to be there, and you woke up feeling worthy, then dig roots, anchor, ground in the knowing that you are protected, you are divinely supported, and you got this, and you can do this. Okay, no matter what's going on, no matter who's bringing the shade, no matter who's bringing the nasty, no matter who's bringing the ugly or the nefarious or the judgmental. Like I said, the woman or the looks could kill, man. I wouldn't be here. But thank goodness I am divinely supported. So no mind, pay them no mind. Okay, so contraction, expansion. For us, whether you feel like you're an introvert or an extrovert, contraction is the state of being where we empaths go within. Okay, we contract. And in this space, this is where you are completely, you're in hermit mode and you are remaining in the sanctuary of the heart. You may find that in this space, you're less social. It's going to feel very much like winter when you're in this space. And by the way, a lot of my clients this week have been, in addition to talking about phenomenological experiences with otherworldly beings in dream or even lucid states or in conscious states, people are also describing fasting or refraining from social media, social experiences, and finding that they just want to be alone and in their own energy. And that's a beautiful thing that many of us, it's not like we just had a caucus and decided, okay, we're all going to fast, a couple of weeks into January. No, many of us are being called to this. Our spirit is being called to this. We are aligning with that Soul Master Blueprint for the early part of January 23, and spirit, the divine God creator source, our angels, our ancestors, for many of us is calling us to just, pull back, contract, go within, not as much time on social media, not as much time hanging out. You may find that you are just enjoying your own energy and refining and honing and recalibrating at this time. So contraction is going within. It looks more like hermit mode. And expansion is the opposite. Expansion mode or expansive mode is going without. It's about being with community. So contraction phase for us empaths is going within, abiding in the sanctuary of the heart, recalibrating and healing and gathering insight, integrating. Okay, it's an integration period and it's an incubation period. Expansion is going without, being with community. So let's look at the contraction phase and let's look at the expansion phase. With contraction, it's a process of building roots. You're within. There's solitude and there's meditation. It's about disciplining yourself. It is, maybe it really is literally fasting. Maybe you're not eating as much food, or maybe you're not eating sugar or carbs. This is a space where you are teaching yourself or being taught, guided by the divine beings that you work with. In the contraction phase, there's inner reflection and there's learning from the reflection or the meditation that we're doing. The contraction phase is a space where we are building, but we're building alone with spirit. Okay, so it is a time of building and growing within, but you're doing it alone with your team. So there's a growth cycle occurring and a growth spurt occurring when you are in contraction stage or contraction phase, when you are contracting. In the contraction phase, there's examination of the mind, body, spirit, and energy, and you're making whatever adjustments need to be done to recalibrate, to shift out, to release what no longer serves. Contraction phase is a beautiful time of healing, correction, and reform. It's all happening within your own structure, within your own temple, within your own sanctuary. Things are recalibrating and refining, and you in this phase are being redefined. Okay? It's a space where there is immersion into healing and doing the inner work when you're in contraction phase. Now let's talk about expansion phase or expansion stage, or when you are feeling expansive. This would be, even if you're an introvert, this is going to come off more as an extroverted time for you, empaths. During the expansion phase or stage, this is where we're joining the collective of our empaths as well as collective of humans. This is where we are sharing the fruits of our labor. We're not sowing the seeds and pruning the leaves. We're now harvesting and sharing the fruits of our labor. We're sharing what we have learned. This is where you're sharing. You went into the sanctuary of the heart, you journaled, you downloaded some things, and you came back with new activation codes or an understanding of who you are on the planet. Maybe you saw some past lives, or you understand your ancestry better. And this is where you come out and you share that information, that wisdom, that knowledge with the masses or your community. Expansion phase is where we are celebrating the wins of others. It's beautiful. It's where we now are ready to share in community and to engage and to socialize. So it's not about us when we're in expansion phase. It's actually about others. It might be that we're doing our mission work, our service work. It might be that we are participating in social functions, weddings, festivals, gatherings, events that we're putting on or helping to coordinate, but we're celebrating community. We're celebrating the tribe. We're celebrating all of those divine beings that we've been gifted with to co-partner with or to serve or to fellowship with, those alignments that Spirit has given to us so that we know that we're not walking this path alone. Expansion phase is where you are building and growing with others. So notice in contraction phase, you're building and growing alone with just your team, your spiritual team. In the expansion phase, you're building and growing, learning, cultivating, and creating with the collective. So the expansion phase is an opportunity to express, to celebrate, to fellowship, and to create outwardly. It's an opportunity to commend and appreciate others in your community, in your environment, in your family, in the collective. It's a space where we honor community with our presence. Contraction phase is where we're going within. Expansion phase is where we come out and grace or bless the community with all that we are in a humble way. But we bring our team, we bring the host of angels, we bring the ancestors. You might bring, your favorite ancestral meal to the cookout. That's what this phase is about. It's a beautiful, harmonious time of interacting and fellowshipping with the collective, with our tribe. So in the expansion phase, engagement is happening with like-minded beings, like-minded souls. And it's also a space where we emerge after healing and after doing the work. So after being in the contraction phase, the expansion phase or stage is our merging after having healed from having done our own work. It's when you come out of the dark night of the soul and you now are ready to share the wisdom that you learned and you gained, and you're ready to engage with community and tribe again. During the contraction phase, you are learning to love yourself and to love yourself more and to love yourself radically. You take care of yourself in the contraction phase. You make small to large improvements. You may read books, you may take classes, and you work on your physical health and your fitness. So notice, dear ones, if you are in a contraction phase, going to a yoga class or a party or some, larger event may feel a little bit awkward. As much as you may want to take the class, being in that environment might be off for you or off-putting for you if you're actually in contraction phase. So you want to learn to recognize what phase you're in. Now, during the expansion phase, you're sharing love with others. You may even be taking care of others, nourishing and nurturing others. You are helping others improve in a healthy, non-codependent way. In the expansion phase, you are planning yourself in the tribe, in the community. You are making yourself available to be a voice of wisdom, to give direction, to share in people's wins, to celebrate their accomplishments and to support them. And maybe to some degree taking care of them, nourishing them, mothering them, fathering them, being a good brother or good sister to these beings. And you're helping them in this phase to improve in a very beautiful, healthy way, but we're not building codependent relationships in this phase. Both phases, empaths, are extremely important, whether you are an introverted empath or an extroverted empath or a combination, an ambivert. So it's really important to, just like we have moon cycles, right? We have the full moon, we have the new moon, and we have all these other moons in between. Just like the moon cycles, you want to learn to recognize which phase you are in so that you can honor yourself in the highest light at any given time, based on where you are. If you need peace, if you need rest, if you need solitude, you are in a contraction phase. If you need time with friends and family, if you need community events and you want to, do something big, maybe you feel like throwing a party, then you are in the expansion phase. Neither are better than the other. Both are required. Both are necessary for us to exist in the highest light, to recalibrate and to rock this life and to be our personal best. It's just important to know where you are at any given moment. And time is a bit of an illusion. You may be in a contraction phase for a day or two or several hours. It might be months. It might be a few years. And the same with the expansion phase. As we grow, as we heal, we learn to weed in and out of the different phases based on what is needed at the time. And so today I might be extremely jovial and extroverted and sharing love and light with the masses. And tomorrow I may be in hermit mode and really not talk to anybody, and it's all good. It's okay. So it can be a little bit tricky though. For example, like I said earlier, let's say that you want to take a yoga class, or you signed up months ago when you were in expansion phase, you signed up for this incredible retreat or meditation. Oftentimes these offerings are done obviously in group settings. However, if at the time that the event takes place, you're in a contraction phase, the offerings may irritate you. They may annoy you. You may find yourself, your nerves are being grated, even though you signed up for the class, the course, the retreat, the yoga event. You might even be the teacher. You might be the leader of the event. And when you were planning the event, you were very much in expansive phase. But come time for the event, you're now in contraction mode. And it might throw you for a loop and you're wondering what the heck's going on, right? Sometimes the energy that is affecting us is coming from without, but sometimes it's coming from within. We're just being recalibrated. And it's important to know all of this so that we don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole. Although you may need the offering, let's say that you're not the teacher or the leader of the class or the retreat, you may need the offering, but consider taking a private class or doing this on your own when you are in contraction phase, if that is what spirit is leading you towards. And if you're longing to have the retreat, maybe this is where you do need to do it on, Zoom, or perhaps you need to just do it with a small group of trusted, friends, right? You decide, but just begin to recognize, am I in an expansive phase or am I in contraction phase? And recognize also that the different phases can be seasonal. So you may find, for example, myself, I was born on a Friday. I didn't know that my whole life, but I've always loved Fridays. And I've often worked wherever I worked, I didn't work necessarily on Fridays, or if I did work on Fridays, it would be, putting on an event or a party or doing some kind of consulting that I absolutely love, something that didn't feel like work. Fridays have always been pretty magical for me. Well, come to find out, I was born on one, so it makes sense. Fridays always feel expansive to me. I love Fridays. I love Friday. It's my favorite day of the week. I also am a spring baby. I'm born on the very first day of spring. So I love spring. Spring feels expansive to me. Okay. And I'm sure it does for a lot of people because we're just coming out of winter when we're in spring. But if I make plans on a Friday or during the spring, but I plan those events to be like maybe, let's say, on a Monday or in the winter, I may not have the same energy that I was experiencing during my expansiveness when come time, to put on the event. So just be aware that if you're more of a Friday person or a spring person or a Sunday person or whatever it is, you may want to coordinate and create vacations or experiences of expansiveness on those days or during those seasons that are aligned with your expansive energy. So try to increase self-awareness so that you can always stay in your highest light. This talk and all the talks that we do on Empath Heart Healing, either the videos or the audios or the blog or whatever it is, all of this is just designed to create and cultivate awareness, to celebrate our individualness, our beingness, so that we can all show up as the best version of ourselves in the highest light, serving the divine, and as well as anchoring ourselves, because we know being highly sensitive people, being empaths, is not always the easiest gig that we ever signed up for, right? It can be challenging. So with increased awareness, you can stay harmonized with your inner and outer cycles, just like the moon cycles, your inner cycle, contraction, your outer cycle, expansiveness. Remain cognizant of your inner world and your outer world, as well as your internal and external needs and paths, so that you can show up in the highest light, so that you can nourish and nurture yourselves accordingly. Notice when the body or your personality want something that contradicts what your spirit and energy require. Notice that you may want to eat, I don't know, bananas, but your spirit is saying, nope, don't do that. That's going to deplete your energy. It's going to make you too sluggish. You're going to have a carb high, So notice when our body or our personality, our extroverted personality may want to go to the party, the carnival, the rave, the concert, whatever it is, but spirit may be saying no. Okay. Your body may be craving lovemaking, and spirit may be saying, not right now, go meditate. Okay. So just honor all of your parts, stay in harmony, stay in alignment with the divine, and all will be fine. Always learn to balance your energies and remain in flow state with spirit. And we do this by remaining in the sanctuary of the heart, the temple, staying here, cocooning here, getting our command codes from base. We go within the heart so we can download the command codes from spirit, our teams, the divine layers of consciousness within our soul structure. By abiding in the sanctuary of the heart, getting your command codes from base, you are able to remain aligned. If you are ever unsure what is required for you, and if you aren't sure which department to go to, just ask your higher self to guide you right there in that moment to the proper level or the proper layer of consciousness within your soul structure. All you have to do is say, higher self, where do I go? What's the best avenue for me? What's the best course of direction? Lead me to the right department. Lead me to the right teacher, the right guide, the right ancestor, the right angel. Show me how to access all that I need. so that I may be aligned and always serve the highest light. Okay, dear empaths, these are the messages that I have for you. I certainly hope that it resonates and that it makes sense and that you understand what Spirit is sharing with us about contraction expansion. If not, feel free to email me, empathhearthealing@gmail.com. And in the words of Walt Whitman, I'll leave you with his quote: re-examine all you have been told, empaths. He didn't say empath. Re-examine all you have been told and dismiss what insults your soul. I love this quote. Re-examine all you have been told, dear empaths. Everything. I don't care who it's coming from. It might have been your mama. Okay. I don't care who told you this, what you read, history books, blah, blah, blah. If it insults your soul, it's not aligned. So stay aligned with the divine and all will be fine. I wonder if Walt Whitman was an empath. I have no idea. All right, dear hearts, have the most beautiful week ahead. Stay blessed, stay aligned. May the light of the divine and the light of your angelic beings, your guardian protectors, your ancestors surround you. May the perimeter of your soul temple always be protected, and any low vibe, any energy that is not worthy and has not been approved of by your entire soul team, your entire soul collective. May your guardians always escort those energies, those vibrations, those entities out of your field with a quickness. And may you always be blessed and protected in the highest light. So be it. So it is. Ashe. Amen. It's done. Blessings, love, light. Peace be with you.